Hello, guys. Good evening. Welcome to the Witness Without Identity, guys. Um, as I have told you, I told you that this channel is about we dealing with issues that's going on in America where people are identifying too harshly with their own identity, and that causes a lot of tax. That can cause a lot of confusion. And I'm telling you guys to pay attention to what I'm saying. It can, because when you have an identity, you can identify with the Republican Party, and you can identify with Donald Trump and QAnon, and then you don't look at the evidence, and you become totally stuck in an echo chamber, like you follow a group. I'm telling people, do not follow any group. Don't be Republican, don't be Chinese, don't be black, don't be white. Just move without an identity, and don't follow QAnon. Don't join any group. That's extremely bad for the mind. You have to be detached. Here I'm gonna show you a story of a young woman that was following QAnon, and how she fall down the rabbit hole. It's quite fascinating how she did that. This is an interview they had on CNN. Please hear the interview carefully. Thank you.
An Arizona woman says last year she became brainwashed by QAnon's conspiracy theories, which led to this scene she made in Target at a display of face masks.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this all my life. So, Target, I'm not paying this. This.
That video went viral, and her long fall down the QAnon rabbit hole nearly cost her her marriage and her career. Joining us now is that woman, Melissa Rein Lively. Melissa, what a story. Oh my gosh, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Melissa, what was happening in that video that we were seeing where you were destroying that rack of face masks? What were you trying to accomplish?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. You know, I had really lost all touch with reality. It was the worst day of my life. I was having a complete mental break. And really what had happened was I had fallen down the QAnon rabbit hole and fell hard, and just lost it. I was completely triggered.
And after that moment, you then went home. You were still irrational, so much so that your husband called the police. We have some video of that too. You were just spouting crazy theories when the police showed up. You were clearly in distress, and they ended up having to take you in. I mean, for a mental evaluation, and I believe to a mental hospital. And so, how did this happen, Melissa, that you fell so far down the conspiracy rabbit hole?
You know, I really became all consumed in the QAnon conspiracy theories because of a mix of fear, anxiety, depression, uncertainty, inconsistency with the information coming out about the pandemic. I felt terrified. I was losing my business. I was watching people around me lose their business. I felt hopeless. I didn't know what to do. So I went to the internet. It started innocently enough, kind of poking around on spirituality and wellness and new age pages that, are just things that I'm interested in anyway. And then, as soon as the algorithm hooked me in, it really only took a matter of weeks until I was in this terrifying echo chamber that really, completely changed the way that I think and the way that I processed information. And what people saw happen in my garage that day, I mean, truly with my husband, who's my absolute best friend, is an ultimate act of love and selfless service for another person, because he had to make a very difficult choice that day, to save my life. He had given me an ultimatum, it's this family, or QAnon. And because I had become so obsessed with it, the Save the Children messaging spoke so deeply to who I am as a person, and I just couldn't put it aside. It ruined me, and it really had a significant impact on my mental health.
And as you say, I mean, your husband tried everything to pull you out, calling the police, as we see there in that video of you in your garage. That was one of his that was just one of the things that he tried. I mean, he really tried to pull you out. And as you say, the algorithm hooked you in. And so you got into this kind of pattern of doom scrolling and fear scrolling. And it just feeds on itself. And so What happened, Melissa? How did you break the spell?
Well, I had to make, a very serious decision for my health and my family, and that, was voluntarily, seeking mental health treatment. I went and I did a PTSD and trauma program, which was really ultimately what I was dealing with, and I was exacerbating the situation and some previous trauma and emotional stuff that I failed to deal with in my life, and I had to make the conscious choice to go and get help for that.
Wow. Did you hear this, guys? Did you hear this, guys? This is wild, man. This poor lady, like, she really fell down the rabbit hole. She really believed what Donald Trump was telling her, and they took her. And I think the social media is helping that too. She specifically said that. So, what does that tell us, guys, about social media? Like, I love social media because it's a positive force and a negative force. I think, like, when it comes to a channel like mine, I'm trying to, like, use social media for the good, so that we can clear our mind of all thought. That's what I'm teaching in this channel. I'm hoping that people take my message seriously, that you guys learn that, guys, we cannot stay in that mode anymore, and we cannot allow our mind to become like how is it, like a place where all the thoughts, like a garbage, like can of thoughts, a bunch of thoughts, too many thoughts. We have to, the thoughts can be there, but we don't touch them. Okay, just like we're not going to put your hand in a garbage can. The thoughts are there. You cannot stop the thoughts, but just watch them, witness the thought. Don't allow your identity to go in the thought, so to touch any thoughts, And what happened to her? She said that she went to the website and she started to hear all the stuff that Qanon was saying. She really felt really deep down the rabbit hole, but it's her that had to make the choice to leave. You see, which means that there's hope, guys. So what I want to say about this issue is that, guys, the Qanon people, the people that follow Qanon and all those people, I know that some people on the left might not agree with me. There's a lot of those people that are not bad people. I don't think all of them are bad people. And God bless Evan John for doing the work that he's doing. He's doing a great job. I hope that he keeps on doing it, because he goes to the right wingers and he talks to them. He gives them chances, and I think that's important, because I don't think all of them are bad people. I don't think all of them. Some people are followers, and they are following, and they don't know better, and they think they really believe that Donald Trump is a savior. You know what I'm saying? There are people that really believe that Trump is a great guy. He's a perfect guy. He's a good guy. So, we have to be more compassionate toward people, especially from the left, because I've heard some things that the left said about the Qanon people, like all of them. It's very rough, and I think it's good to be compassionate toward them, to hold on. So maybe there are some of them that are good apples. There are some of them that are rotten. There are some of them that are very nefarious, but there are really some of them that are just like purely, they were a little bit naive. They believe in that. They were following, and they really believe in it. And they're not trying to destroy the country. They actually think that they're trying to save it. What are you going to say to somebody like that? Are you going to hit them and keep saying that they are total disgusting human beings? I don't think so. I think we need to hear them out. Let's play the rest of the tape and let's look at it. Okay.
And I invested myself into that program. I continue to go to therapy and slowly but surely, work to rebuild my life back. And I wrote a book about it, and I really committed to helping other people escape from this, because I really believe that it's a cult. It operates like a cult in every single way, and people don't realize that they're being consumed by QAnon until it's too late.
And before we get to your advice for other people, if you hadn't gotten out, would you have been one of the people that we saw at the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol? Did you know that was happening? Were you planning to go there?
I wasn't aware of it back in July, when everything happened with me, and I've been on the road to recovery since last July. But I will say, it is incredibly scary how quickly people become radicalized and violent, as they kind of continue down the rabbit hole and lose trust with, other people and our institutions and the government and so on and so forth. And they feel compelled to take matters into their own hands. I sort of see my Target situation as my Capitol moment. I don't think I would have been at the Capitol, thank God, because because my family did intervene, but the damage had already been done, with the whole Target situation. But it's frightening, and I think that's the reason that my husband, felt so compelled to involve the police that day, is because I am such a peace-loving, sensitive person, and I even got radicalized quickly to the point that I was destructive, I was violent, I was angry, I was defensive. So it is very, very frightening when you see a large amount of people attack, our government institution like our Capitol. It was very upsetting for me to see, because I know exactly how it happened.
Oh my gosh. And so, Melissa, what is your advice to other people who may have a family member or friends who have fallen into QAnon?
I speak to people every day, family members who say, what advice can you give my friend? Can you talk to my loved one, my sister, my mother? And it's heartbreaking. It gives me chills just thinking about it, because I know that these people have to be empowered to make the conscious choice to leave the cult themselves. The more that people, berate them, call them names, call them stupid, laugh at them, mock them, they are just going to dig their heels in harder and become more isolated, more scared, and more alone. So my advice is to love these people, understand these people, try to come to even ground and reason with them as best you can, find things, common ground, things that you can agree on, and start there, and really try to isolate what their fears are and what's motivating the irrational behavior and obsession with QAnon, because what you'll probably find out, it is motivated by fear, distrust, uncertainty, not necessarily hatred, not necessarily destruction. But these people can be helped, but they have to be empowered to do so.
Wow, that is such good advice. I mean, compassion and focus.
Wow. She ended it very well. Like, we need to be able to talk to those people. We need to come from a place of compassion, guys. Don't listen to those people that tell you we need to have all of those people destroyed. Some of those people are not bad people. Some of those QAnon people, they just like, that's one thing we can say. Maybe we can say they're just naive. Some people are naive. Some people have mental problems. She seems that she had mental problems. So are we going to say that every mental people that I live in LA. There's a lot of homelesses that are going ballistic, and they yell at people. And even me too, my own mentality, sometimes I'm a little bit weird too. So the brain of any human being it's a mystery. So we have to be compassionate toward people, and we have to understand the QAnon people, that not all of them are bad people. There are some of them that I think are very evil. But I think there's some of them that they really believe what they were doing was the right thing to save America, to save us, to save the country. They wasn't trying to destroy anything. They wasn't trying to hurt people. Some people really believe that they were fighters for freedom, and they really fall down that rabbit hole. She said that she's a peace-loving people, and she seek help, and that she gave us an advice to approach those people with love. I think we should do that, guys. This is a pretty good interview, and I'm proud of her. I'm proud of what she's doing, because we need more voices like her, and there are more voices like her. After this one, I'm probably gonna have the other video of other QAnon people that went down the rabbit hole. Because remember, guys, I want to finish the video on this. This whole thing is about this. The field thing is about Marjorie Taylor Green. She's the representative in the White House, and she got into the White House. Now, what can we say about her? Is she evil? I think maybe, because she made it into the White House and she's still spewing this thing. But she said that she loved Jesus, but a lot of bad people say they love Jesus. That doesn't mean anything. So we have to watch her. Maybe she has a mental problem. A lot of those people have mental problem. I don't think they are bad people. They have mental problem. So I think what's good about what the conversation I'm having with you now is that if we know what the problem is, then we have a way maybe that we can fix this. If we do not know what the problem is, why those people so hungry, then we cannot fix the problem. So here we're starting to know. You see, this woman, it looks like she's coming from an emotional place. She has mental problem, and she started to seek a new age help, spirituality, but she went down the QAnon route, and there is she. And she said that she already had an insurrection when she went to the Walmart, the Target. She was removing the mask, throwing them on the floor. So she was rioting. She said that echo chamber makes you angry. So you know what I'm saying? So So I hope that you guys can understand that. Thank you guys for following my channel. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you.